Your dog listens perfectly inside, but as soon as you step outside, they act as if you just don't exist. Sound familiar, right? You're calling their name, waving their favourite treat or toy, and it's getting quite frustrating, and it's as if their ears have just switched off. This is incredibly common, and don't worry, there is a fix. More often than not, our Gundog breeds are actually pretty good in the house, and they listen, they pay attention, but as soon as we step outside, it seems to be a completely different story. Now, this is actually quite a common thing, and it's something that I encounter quite a lot. So why is it that our dogs are great inside, but complete assholes outside the house? Put it this way, when your dog leaves the house, they get hit with so many different things. Different sights, different smells, all these things are hitting our dogs all at once, causing them to get quite overstimulated quite quickly. They've got so much shit whizzing round their head that they just struggle to cope. It's like you about to sit down to sit a maths test, but your chair's on fire. Yeah, that kind of crazy. Now, I hope you're sitting down for this one because it's a little bit of a tough pill to swallow. The outside world is just significantly more interesting than anything you have to offer. I'm really sorry, but it's true. These dogs were bred to work outside, and they are pretty much built to work with their surroundings. So anything that you have to offer pretty much doesn't come even close. But here's the thing, your dog isn't choosing to ignore you. They're just being hit with quite a lot, and they need you to step up to advocate for them so that they can navigate the world outside. A lot of the time, owners will try and do more and more and more each time, but often than not, this tends to have the opposite effect. Things like repeating cues, when in reality what's happening here is you're just filling your dog's head with more noise. And the thing that you're trying to ask them is just becoming less and less valuable. Another common one is waving food or toys in your dog's face. Think of it like this, you're about to get on a roller coaster and someone offers you a sandwich. You're pretty much not going to take that sandwich. You know, even the biggest, nicest, juiciest steaks are not going to compete with our dogs in the outside world, especially not in Gundog breeds. Now, you might be sitting and thinking, but my dog absolutely loves their ball, so why wouldn't they choose that? And to put it simply, their brain is just in fight or flight. They cannot comprehend their emotions and they just go to putty. Something else you might be doing is getting louder and more frustrated at your dog. All this is going to create is for the dog to rebel even more and we're in even more of a stickier situation. What is engagement? What does it actually mean? I find in dog training that the word engagement is actually a little bit of a buzzword and it gets overused quite a lot. Engagement is the concept of your dog choosing to check in. It's not necessarily eye contact, but they're just choosing to be with you in that moment rather than off doing their own thing. You become more relevant than the actual outside world. You know, your dog being next to you rather than 3 fields away is engagement. Think of it as a type of relationship with your dog. The more engaged they are with you, the more you have a stronger relationship. Engagement starts with how your behavior is firstly. Think of your movement. You need to slow it right the way down. The more you chuck at your dog, the more they're just going to get overstimulated and overwhelmed. Your timing is everything. This is such a big key step. And clarity. If you are not being clear and consistent with your dog, they are just going to switch off. All these 3 go hand in hand to make your engagement super, super strong. Oh, really quickly, guys, whilst I've got your attention, if you have a Gundog breed and you're sat there thinking, surely it shouldn't be this hard, download our free Pet Gundog Handbook. It's going to go into detail on why these things are happening and give you practical ways in which you can deal with them so that you don't run into these problems in the future. All you have to do is click the link in the description below and it's going to direct you straight over to the handbook. So this is one of my favorite cheat codes, I'm going to call it, for building engagement with your dog. Now, there is a couple of things that we need to take into consideration first before we jump into the exercise. So first of all, we need to figure out the location that we're going to put our dogs in to start off this drill. Now, if your dog really struggles with this one, you can start it from the comfort of your own home or in your garden. For us, we literally have just come up the street to a little patch of grass that I've got nearby that I'm going to utilize for this drill. The second little cheat code that I've got for you guys is is utilize your dog's daily food allowance. Now, that sounds a little bit weird because it's like, well, I feed my dog twice a day on these times. Well, I can guarantee you, if you can take that away, put it into a treat pouch and utilize it for your dog's training, you're going to see a massive spike in their engagement and desire to want to work for you, because you're now taking what is a primary resource and making them work for it. So what I've done here is I've just got a treat pouch full of Siding's kibble. Now, if your dog's on, say, raw or wet or anything like that, I'd highly recommend just getting a silicone treat pouch, getting a non-latex glove and replicating the exact same exercise. Remember, excuses will not get you progress. So we're gonna jump into the exercise now. So what I'm gonna do for Sid here is, he's a pretty overall engaged dog anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna have him off for this one, just so I can replicate a little bit more of a distraction. Break. As he's running around, as he's doing this thing, what I'm looking for is a little pocket of where he's looking at me and is engaging. And then what I'm going to use is I'm going to use a marker, and I'm going to then pair that with paying the dog. So when he's looking at me like this, I'm going to say yes, and then I'm going to come in, grab a handful of food, and I'm going to start presenting that food to the dog. Don't worry if the dog drops some or anything like that. Ideally, make sure that that food comes from you though. And you're gonna go still. You're gonna go silent. You're not gonna pay any attention to your dog. You're just gonna maneuver around, wait for another little pocket of where they're looking up at you. Yes. So I caught him there just before his attention diverted. Now, Sid is an absolute food-driven gremlin, so I'm trying to not lose my fingers here as well. Again, switch off from him straight away, go back to walking around. What's gonna start to happen is your dog's gonna be like, oh, hold on a minute, come back, because I'm getting paid every time I look up at you. Yes, and there's lots of reinforcement in there for him. Now remember, mix up your patterns. Don't make it the same every single time that you do this. So the next time that I do this, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. So we're moving around. Yes. This time, one piece. Straight away. Disengage from him. Now, it's turned into a little bit of a mini game. Jackpotting the dog. Now, think of it as like, you know, when you were a kid and you're on the slot machines and you might put in like one or two 2Ps, you get nothing, but then on the third go, you get a massive jackpot and you get loads more money. This is exactly the same thing. Our dogs are now going to get into a headspace of, oh my God, this is significantly more motivating, because there's chances of me getting one piece, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, however many pieces. And now look, we've got a laser focused dog that is pretty much just engaging with me every step of the way. Yes. Come back in there, pay the dog. Obviously, for you guys at home, make sure that you do this exercise on your short lead setup. Don't have your dog off lead like this, because chances are they're just going to bugger off and not paying attention to you in the early stages. If you find that your dog is just sticking to you like glue and they're not leaving your side, which again is a good thing, by the way, you can set them up a little bit by just gravitating over, getting a little bit of food, tossing it over that way. Just didn't see that, mate. You're meant to be a spaniel. Come on. So it's there on the floor. Dog's attention's now diverted. He's away from me. As soon as he comes over to me, which should be round about now, waiting for a little bit of attention. Yes. As soon as the dog's back into your exercise again. With you guys at home, what I would do is I would intro this to your dog in low distraction environments to start off with. Say round about 3 or 4 low distraction environments, and work your way up the scale as your dog is in those environments. So if you take them to a medium environment, they're not paying that much attention to you, drop back in your environments and work your way back up again. You're looking for at least an 80 to 85% success rate when doing this drill in the environment that you're in before you then progress into another. So the reason the engagement exercise works that you've just seen there is because it allows the dog to look at you as their leader, look at you as their guide, their means of helping them navigate the world around them, you become significantly more motivating intrinsically, which makes them want to work for you more. Now, the massive one here is engagement needs to come before obedience, because if your dog isn't engaging with you, you're going to struggle significantly in getting them to actually do anything. From building great engagement, your dog is going to become so much more responsive. They're going to look to you for guidance rather than just allowing their impulses to take over and go into it head first. You're going to find that your dog is going to become more calmer and connected to you outside. So just to wrap up, you cannot train what you do not have engagement with. It literally would be absolutely pointless, because the dog's not going to find any desire in wanting to work with you, and then you're just going to be working against them. That's then causing a problem with your relationship. You need to start with engagement and not with more commands. And definitely, for the love of God, do not take this out on your dog, because chances are they're either equally or more so overwhelmed than what you are.